Good morning, grade 9 students. In this session, we're going to continue with our chapter genetics. And here I'm going to talk about testocross that we already covered with this cross. Testocross, we said it's the cross that's done with dominant individual. This dominant individual can be either homozygous or heterozygous. We can cross it with a recessive individual. This recessive is 100% pure. So this is done to determine if the parent is pure or hybrid. So we did the test like shown here, recessive with dominant. This recessive, it's let's say for example, N for the normal and D for the disease. This recessive, it's for the disease, so it should be D, D. It gives only one type of gamete, which is D 100%. While the dominant here, the dominant case, the case of dominant, it can be either ND or it can be an N. It has both an N or it can be ND. Since dominant, it can be expressed in both homozygous or heterozygous. Always we cross it with the recessive, who's DD. So we aim in this exercise or in this cross to determine if the dominant is homozygous or heterozygous. If it's homozygous, so we will have only one phenotype in the offspring. So it should be an N. Why? Because an N, it gives only one type of gamete. It gives N 100%. However, if we have two phenotype of the offspring, so the dominant should be heterozygous. Why? Because the heterozygous, it gives two type of gametes, N 50% and D 50%. So this determines on the phenotypes in the descendants. If we have two different phenotypes in the offspring, so the dominant should be heterozygous or hybrid. If we have only one phenotype in the offspring, so it should be pure or homozygous, having the genotype N. So here you have to pay attention to this cross. So here, as a conclusion, we have three different types of crosses, as I said before. Monohybrid, when the parents are pure and they differ in only one trait. Self-cross, whenever we cross, let's say, F1 with itself. So it's called self-cross. Test-cross, when we cross it with homozygous and recessive. This aims to see if the dominant is homozygous or heterozygous. Cases of heredity, we have three cases. First case, when we have an allele which is dominant over the other. This is called dominance. Second, intermediate dominance, or sometimes they call it incomplete dominance. What do we mean by this? When we cross a red flower with a white, all the flowers, they are pink. So the color is intermediate in the middle between the red and the white. It's pink. So this is called incomplete dominant. Third case that we talked about it and we are going to practice a question over this is the case of codominance. Codominance meaning that both are dominant, like the case of intermediate, both are dominant, but in the codominance, both of them they are expressed. So we have co-expression, cooperation. Example about this, the blood group AB. Allele A and allele B, they are dominant. So individual has blood group A, B. So codominance, example, we cross a blue bird with a white bird. The bird obtained is blue and white. So both colors are obtained. So this is called the case of codominance. Also the case of blood group that I talked about before. Codominant, a new trait appeared. For example, you have black dog that is crossed with white dog. All the offspring, they are white spotted with the black spots or black spotted with white spots. So here both colors appeared. So this is called codominance. So both alleles, they are dominant and both are symbolized by a capital letter. We talked in activity 3 about the carrier of the genetic information. We said that the karyotype, it's the arranged set of the chromosomes. You have to know that the karyotype is the arranged set of the chromosomes. They are arranged in something called karyotype. The chromosomes, they are arranged as pairs and they are arranged according to the decreasing order of size. We said from the bigger chromosome to the smallest, to the position of the centromere, and according to the banding pattern. This criteria, we have to study it. Also, we talk about gonosomes and autosomes. Remember when we talk about the gonosomes and not jonosomes. Gonosomes, they are the sex chromosomes. They determine whether the individual is a male or female. We have X and Y. X as a sex chromosome and Y sex chromosome. If the person has two XX as sex chromosomes, so this is referred to as an female. This karyotype for female, since it has two X chromosomes. However, if we have one X and one Y, so it has XY, so it belongs to a male or for a boy. So this is the gonosomes that are here in our karyotype. If we have XX, so it's for the female. If we have XY, it's for a male. However, the autosomes, they are all the chromosomes except the sex chromosome. So here, from chromosome pair number 1 to chromosome pair number 22, all of them, they are called autosomes. However, this one is called the sex chromosome. Here it's XY, so it's a male. What is a pedigree? We talked about the pedigree last time. It's the genetic representation. It shows the family member and their relation between each other. Next week, we're going to focus on the pedigree. And this is the pedigree. We started an application and we solved the application related to Sarah and Maher, where both of them, they are normal and they have a family history of albinism. What is albinism? It's a disease where melanin is not produced, so we have lack of pigmentation in the skin cells and the hair cells. So the person is going to be like this, lack of pigmentation. And Sarah and Nahar, they are normal, but they gave birth to four children, Ahmad, Jack, Marie, and Fatima. All of them, they were normal, except Jack, who turned out to be an albino. So here they said construct a pedigree, meaning that draw the pedigree or the family tree representing the family, determine the dominant and the recessive allele, designate by symbols the corresponding allele, determine the genotype of the parents and the children, perform the essential factorial analysis to verify the results. First of all, you have to know that the circle is for the female and the box for a male. This symbol, it means the marriage. So here we have marriage between two male and female couple. This is relative mating, for example, cousins or something like this. This means the children. And this last one is for twins. Let's move now to talk about this pedigree. This pedigree should be drawn using a pencil, should be drawn inside the box and given a title and the legend for sure. Legend, this is a normal woman, this is a normal man, and this is an albino man, or you can say affected man if you want. Pedigree, Maher and Sarah, they got married, they gave birth to Ahmad, Fatima, Jack, and Marie. Okay, so let's continue with part two. Maher and Sarah, they are normal, but they gave birth to an albino Jack. So the parents, they carry the allele of the disease, but it was masked. What the meaning it was masked, it was covered by the dominant allele. So the dominant allele, which is the normal allele, is dominant over the allele of the disease, which is recessive. 43 designate by symbols, let N capital be the symbol of the normal allele, which is dominant over the recessive allele of albinism. Let A small, you can use any symbol that you want. You can use D small, for example. Let A small be the symbol of the allele of albinism, which is recessive with respect to the normal dominant allele. Part 4, they ask for what? They ask for the genotype of the parents and their children. So here, Jack is an albino. Albinism allele is recessive and it's only expressed in the case of homozygous. So it should be necessarily A, should be recessive. However, the Maher and Sarah, they are normal, but they gave birth to an infected child. So they should carry the allele of the albinism, which was masked by the normal. So their genotype should be an A. However, the Fatima, Marie, and Ahmad, they are normal, but their genotype, it could be an N or an A. We can't determine this exactly because they are normal, so they can be either homozygous or heterozygous. So here, normal and normal. Part 5. Maher and Sarah, they are normal. Let's start with the factorial analysis. All of you pay attention to this. First of all, first step, Sarah, we start with the factorial analysis with which step?
Genotype.
Phenotype, very good. So the phenotype of the parents. So first step, we start with the phenotype. Male, for the symbol of the male, cross female. Both parents, Sarah and Maher, they are normal or affected, ya Sarah? Yes, Sarah? Both of them, they are normal or affected?
Yes, they are normal.
They are normal, very good. So Maher and Sarah, both of them, they are normal. Normal crossed with normal. Moving to Hadi Fadlallah, second step. We finish with phenotype. We go to what? Yes, Hadi Fadlallah. Phenotype, the second step is what? Yes, Hadi? Okay, let's move to column.
Next, the genotype
Genotype,
of
very good. So genotype.
the parents.
Sarah and Maher, they are normal, but they gave birth to affected
But they get
child.
to an albino, which
So
means that their genotype is NA.
an A, very good. An A, they are heterozygous. Crossed with an A, another an A. So here we cross them, an A crossed with an A. Moving now for gametes. The third step is the
Gametes.
gametes. So the third step is the gametes. Yes, Jad, what do you think? Gametes of the symbol gamma. What are the gametes given by the male and the female? Yes, Jad?
Yes, sir. What? Can you repeat the question,
Yes.
please?
What are the gametes that are inherited from the male and the female? شنو الجميت from the male and those from the female?
Okay, and
Yes,
الآن 50.
50%, and you have to put it inside the symbol. So here
Yes,
you have to put an 50% and
A 50%
very
inside
good,
the
very good.
male.
So if I want Yajad, if I want to do it in a proportion, what shall I do?
Um, I think 1/2.
Very good. If it's in percentage, it's 50. If it's the proportion 1 over 2, 25, it's 1 over
Yes,
4. If it's 100, it's 1 over 1. Okay?
yes,
Moving for the
yes.
female, the same. Thank you, Jad. So the same for
You're welcome.
M, it's 50%, and the A, it's also 50%. Now we move to the third step. Gametes, fourth step, it's the table of cross. In the table of cross, I have to draw the table and I have to divide it into male and female, and I have to use a pencil, sure, and a ruler. So this is the male and this is the female, and it's 50%, and A, it's 50%. And also here we have N 50% and A it's 50%. So here, NN, it will be 50 times 50 over 100, or you can simply say 25 times 5, so it's a 25%. NA, it's a 25%. And then you have NA here, also 25%, and AA, it's 25%. Moving now to the last step, which is the table of results. Table of results. Sure, all of your work here, the table should be in pencil and ruler, but you can fill it using a pen. This is the genotype, and here we have the phenotype. So we move for the genotypes. Genotype, we have NN, which is at 25%. We have an A2. We have an A here and we have an A. So we write it as 1 and we add the percentage. An A 25% plus 25% will be 50%. And the last one will be AA 25%. So here, an A. What do you think, Yarena Manana? An and an A. What do they give? An normal or affected?
Normal.
Rana, please. Diana Manana, other who knows the answer, you can raise your hand. I can pick you if Rena didn't answer. Diana Manana. Okay, I don't think Rena is here. So let's move for Mariam. Yes, Mariam. And normal or affected?
Normal 75%.
Very good. Why? 25 plus 50. So
Plus 50.
they are normal, and 25% they are AA. So 25% they are affected,
Affective
or they are
25%.
albino, or they are diseased, as you want. So here, therefore, the results are verified. Since the 3 out of 4 they are normal, and 1 out of 4 is affected. Let's move now to our homework. A florist was working with his flowers. First of all, I have to read the question carefully before I start. So a florist was working with his flowers. So he performed the following cross. A yellow flower was crossed with an orange flower. Yellow flower crossed with an orange. All the obtained flowers, they are yellow, with orange stripes, like the one shown in this figure. We have yellow color and we have orange color. Both of them, they are found in the flower. So first of all, what is the case of heredity here? Is it the case of dominance, codominance, or intermediate dominance? Let's see if you know this. Yeah, this is the case of dominance, codominance, or intermediate. Yes, 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 Colin.
This is the case of codominance.
Why? It's the case of codominance. Why did you say codominance?
Because basically we get a like a new trait basically.
New trait
like
where both colors they are
present.
suppressed or they are expressed. So both colors they are expressed. So this is cooperation between two alleles. So this is the case of codominance. Very good. Why didn't I say that this is the case of intermediate? I didn't say intermediate. Why? Because we don't have a color that is intermediate between yellow and orange. Or why didn't I say it's a case of dominance? I didn't say dominance because none of the alleles dominate the other. So this is the case of codominance. How should I answer this? This has a special way to answer it. You have to say, since all the flowers there are yellow with orange stripe, unlike any of the parents, both alleles they are co-expressed. So here, then the parents are pure, and yellow allele is dominant not over, is dominant with the yellow, with the orange. So yellow and the orange they are dominant with each other. Here the parents they are pure. So what do we call? What is the type of this cross? The parents are pure. So what is the type of this cross? Yes, I need new hands. and new voices. Yes, Abbas, when the parents are pure, what do we call this cross? Self cross, test cross, monohybrid cross. Yes, Abbas.
Yes, yes.
So what do we call this cross? What is the type of this cross?
Self-cross?
Self cross. Did we cross F1 with itself? Did we cross F1 with itself?
Yes.
Did we cross?
No, no.
Why? So it's not self cross. It's not self cross, yeah, Abbas. Yes, Amir, what do you think?
Monohybrid
Monohybrid, why?
because they only differ in one trait.
Their parents are pure and they differ in only one trait.
Trait,
That's
yeah.
it. Thank you. Moving to third part. Designate by symbols. Always in the case of dominance, we can say yellow is dominant and orange is recessive, let's say. But here it's not the case. Here both of them they are dominant. So here both of them they are dominant. So here is the case of codominance. How can we answer this? We have to answer it like this way. In this way we have to answer this. So first we said it is the case of codominance where both alleles they are expressed and the parents they are pure. And the second case we have what we have the second case we have to answer the type of this cross. It's a monohybrid. Why? Because the parents are pure and they differ in only one trait. So pure and they differ in only one trait, which is the color. Symbols. Here codominance we have to use another way. So let Y capital be the symbol of the yellow allele, which is codominant. In case of codominance, which is codominant with the orange allele. Let O capital be the symbol of the orange allele, which is codominant with the yellow allele. So here, both of them, they are dominant. So this is the case of codominance. This is the way how can we give the symbols in the case of codominance. Both alleles, they should be expressed, and both alleles, they should be capitalized with the capital letter. Okay, let's move now to the part number 4. What did they ask in part number 4? In part 4, they asked for what? They asked for the genotypes of the parents and the obtained flowers. The parents are pure, and we gave symbol Y for the yellow and O for the orange. So what is the symbol of the parents having yellow color? Yes, Fadil Basma. What is the symbol of the parents having yellow color?
Yes.
Yes. What is the genotype of the parents having the yellow color? Yes.
Y YO
YO. Okay, great. They are
orange Y.
YO. Okay, who's next? You can tell me what is the symbol. I need new hands here. I need new hands and I need new participants. Yes, Lana Safiuddin, what do you think? What is the genotype of the yellow flower? Yes, Lana. Great, great. Yes, Mira.
Yes,
What is the
is this
genotype of the yellow flower?
yellow?
Yes.
Um,
We gave the symbol Y capital for the yellow, and orange we gave it O capital.
so it's Y capital, Y capital.
Very good. Why? Because the parents, they are pure. So the yellow
Yeah.
should be Y, Y. While the orange is, Mina?
It's OO.
Oh, very good. While their offspring, they will get Y from the parents and the O from the other parents. So they should be Y, O. These are the flowers obtained. Yellow with orange stripes. Mr. Awana is going to ask me, can we put OY? We can put OY. No difference. Here, the YO, it's the orange with yellow with orange stripes. Here is the genotype of their descendants. So moving for part 4, before moving, we have to perform the essential factorial analysis to verify the results using percentage, and they need perform the essential factorial analysis to predict the percentage of flowers obtained upon crossing yellow with the flower having yellow color with orange stripes. So here, let's continue with this. Part 4, the yellow flower, it has YY. Why is Mina said it's YY? Because the parents, they are pure. And OO, because the parents are pure. So here, YY, they give only one type of gamete, which is Y. OO, they give only one type of gamete, which is O. So here the genotype of the yellow with orange stripes is YO. Here, continue with the part number 5. Part number 5 is talking about the perform the factorial analysis to predict to verify the results. Yellow with orange. So the yellow genotype YY with orange OO, both of them should be capitalized. So Y 100%, O 100%. Table of cross, we have Y 100 and O 100, so YO 100%. So 100% flowers with yellow with orange stripes. Therefore, the results are verified. While part 6, what do they want me to do? Part 6, they need to perform the essential factorial analysis to predict. Yani meaning that at the end, we don't have to say, therefore, the results are verified, since they ask for prediction of the results. Predict the phenotypic percentages of flowers upon crossing a yellow flower with a flower having yellow with orange stripe. So the yellow flower will have YY, while the yellow with orange stripe will have YO. So here, YY crossed with YO. So the gametes, they are YY gives only one type of gamete, which is Y, 100%. YO, it gives two, 50% Y and 50% O. Table of cross, the female Y and O, and the male gives only Y. So YY 50% and YO 50%. So 50% they will be yellow, and 50% they will be yellow with orange stripes. This is the prediction of the results. Pay attention here. You have to know that both of them, they should be capitalized. Whenever we have two colors, they are expressed together. This is the case of codominance. Whenever we have the color that is between two colors, this is called intermediate dominance. And you have to be careful about these notes very well. And also you have to review the notes related to the pedigree as well.